What if I told you that right now you have a literal superpower within you that has been purposely hidden from you to keep you weak? And if you could just learn how to properly use this superpower, it would not only allow you to create your dream life, but it would also allow you to overcome any obstacle you may face in your life moving forward. Over a decade ago, I discovered what this superpower was. And since then, I have been putting it to the test continually to see whether it's actually true or just some BS, like the majority of information out there. And to my surprise, using the superpower within, I was able to completely shift my reality and start living my dream life. And in this video, you're going to learn exactly how to use your power within so you can start living your dream life as well. But what exactly is this superpower, this power within? It has many different names, and it's been used in so many different philosophies over the ages. The most popular philosophies in modern day involving this power within ranges from Stoicism, looking at it from a more practical sense. And when I say practical sense, I mean by looking at it in terms of not letting outside things affect you, being stoic, being emotionally controlled, and learning to control your inner self so as not to be affected by your external environment. And then on the more spiritual sense, we have New Age, which focuses on the exact same thing, just in a different way. And the way it focuses on this power within is through the law of attraction. It's by using your energy to manifest your reality and create things for yourself. And the way you do this, of course, in New Age is by learning to control your thoughts, just like Stoicism. Both of these are talking about the exact same thing, just in different forms and in a different way of viewing it. So when it really comes down to it, learning what your power within is not that much of a secret. It's actually pretty obvious and easy to use. It's just learning how to use it, because we've been taught so much BS over the course of our lives that have actually made us use our power within negatively. Now you use your power within by using your thoughts, words, and actions. Using these three things, you can actually start to create your reality around you. And I know me saying just thoughts, words, and actions is a very simple thing. Like I said, it really is simple. But when you really begin to understand this, and you really begin to understand how much power you actually have, you'll start to begin to use these things in a way that serves you, instead of using them in a way that doesn't serve you. Because guess what? Even if you don't know about this stuff, you're still using your power. Every second of the day, you are using your power within. The issue with most people is that most people are using their power within negatively. Most people are focused on negative things, hanging out with negative people, doing things that make them feel bad, and thus they are using their thoughts, words, and actions in a negative way. And guess what? That creates a negative reality around them. And I'm not just saying this to you as someone who has just read this online. I have literally been testing this information for a little over 10 years now. I remember first hearing this information and honestly thinking this must be a little BS. But a part of me was like, well, what if it is true? What if I can create my reality? What if I can actually, change my life just by using my power within? So I started studying it and I started practicing it. And it definitely wasn't easy at first, I can tell you that. But over the course of time, I have learned how to actually do this, in my opinion, at a pretty good rate. And because of this, my life around me now is exactly how I want it to be. And every single day, it's getting better and better and better. And it's not like that due to a mistake. It's like that because I decided to make it like that, and I decided to create it. And this is in stark contrast to how my life used to be. 10 years ago, almost everything in my life I did not like. I felt like I was out of control of my life, and I felt like I was just a boat being just pushed around by life. And now I feel like I'm directing my life wherever I want it to go. And I can 100% say the reason I've been able to get my life like this is because of this information I'm showing you here. And when you can prove to yourself that this information is actually true, that it's actually real, and that you actually can influence and create your reality directly by using your power within, you feel fucking powerful. You feel phenomenal. And I wish I could just show you guys how I feel, but there's this sense of power within you that you walk around with, and you just feel in control of everything that happens to you because you know how to move through it, manifest something new, and accept it as it is. And I don't want to go too far off topic with what I'm about to say, but there's a reason why society makes you feel like a victim, why they always put you in a fear state, why they always do things that make you feel like you're not in control of your life. Because they want you to be disempowered. They don't want you to know this type of information, because if you do, you can start living the life you want to live. You don't have to live by the rules that they tell you to live by. You can live by your own rules. You can create your own reality. You can do the things you want to do, and it doesn't matter what anybody else says, because at the end of the day, people will say what they want. But if you can understand that your power within is your thoughts, words, and actions, and you can just focus on that, you're gonna be unstoppable. So if you can apply the information that I'm gonna go into further in this video, you're going to be able to completely transform your life, just like I did. And you're gonna look back on times like this and be like, man, I can't believe I actually did that. It's gonna feel like a dream to you. Because literally my life, how it is now versus how my life was before, literally feels like a dream. I think back to those times and I'm like, did I actually go through that? Like, it's kind of funny at this point, but that's how it's gonna be for you. Now, I know I said that you use your power within through using your thoughts, words, and actions. And I'm gonna get a little deeper into that and explain just exactly how you guys do that and how you guys start using your thoughts, words, and actions to create your reality. But before that, I wanna establish a foundation, a baseline for you guys to understand. Because if you can understand why exactly this works, it'll be a lot easier for you to believe it. And belief is the most important thing here. If you don't believe that this works, it won't work for you. Believing that this type of information actually works, actually is real, is the biggest hurdle for beginners. For me, when I first started, it was a hurdle for me because I was really skeptical, but there was something in me that was like, just keep trying. So I'm hoping that this information I'm about to tell you is going to help you overcome this process a lot quicker, because for me, it took me a couple years to overcome this barrier in my mind that was like, this information isn't real. So the first thing I want you guys to understand is about beliefs. Your beliefs basically are like a box that you live in. And because you believe that thing, it's very hard to see anything outside of it. I'll give you a good example where imagine if you have a pair of red glasses and you just put those glasses on. You see the world through those red glasses, and because of this, your thoughts, words, and actions are all going to be influenced by that red tint that you see. This isn't the only way to see the world. There are people out there with green glasses, blue glasses, black glasses, you get the point. But the beliefs you have installed in your mind are actively influencing your thoughts, words, and actions. And moreover, if you have beliefs in your mind that you don't even know you have, which most people do, then you're being influenced by things that you don't even know you're being influenced by. You may have beliefs that you gained during childhood that say you're not worthy, and so you're wearing you're not worthy glasses. So everything you see in life is perceived through those glasses. Another good example I could give you guys is about religion. Someone who grows up Christian is going to be wearing Christian-based glasses, so they're going to see things in the world that happen and they're going to interpret it through that frame of mind. And so their thoughts, words, and actions are all going to automatically filter through that. And you can use this example with any other religion. The point I'm trying to make to you guys is that the frames or the beliefs you hold within yourself are super, super important because they influence your thoughts, words, and actions. So if you have a belief that says, I don't believe that this is true, guess what? It's gonna be very hard to convince yourself that it is true. Another thing you need to realize is that we're all playing a game here. And I'm being serious. You need to start looking at reality like a game. Because if you've played games, you know that there are rules and there are mechanics that you have to abide by within the game. And if you don't abide by them, well, there's usually punishments. Life is the exact same way. That's why so many people are living lives they don't like, because they don't know the rules and they don't know the mechanics. And society does not teach you the rules or mechanics. In fact, they teach you how to break the rules and mechanics, which ends up hurting you, of course. But if you can learn the rules and mechanics to this reality, this dimension, whatever this is, then you can start playing it well, and you can start succeeding, and you can start winning. And a couple of rules you're gonna need to know if you wanna learn how to successfully use your power within is learning that we are all energy. And I'm sure you've heard of this before. I'm really gonna go deep on this to help you guys understand what exactly I'm talking about when I say this. And this is all proven by science. You can look this up if you want to, but we are all energy. You see, nothing around us is physical. The screen you're viewing me on, the room you're around, even your body, it's all an illusion. It's just energy. If you had a super high-powered microscope and you zoomed into anything around you, you would literally see that most of it is empty space. That it's just atoms vibrating at super high speeds of motion that allow it to look physical. And that is everything around you right now. None of this is actually how it appears. It's just atoms in different configurations vibrating at super high speeds of motion to make it appear physical and make it feel physical. And not only that, but all energy vibrates. You see, nothing sits still. Everything is moving at extremely high rates of motion. Everything around you, although it looks static, although it looks like it's, not moving at all, everything in the universe vibrates, moves. So we've established that everything is energy, everything is vibrating, but the third key here is energy vibrates at certain frequencies. Now, what is a frequency? A frequency is like a TV channel, or a YouTube channel is a better example. Have you ever noticed that some channels make you feel good, some channels make you feel bad, some channels make you feel in between? That is what frequency is. Frequency is feeling. Because everything is energy that vibrates at different frequencies, then you might start to be getting a better picture of what's going on here. Let's just say there are infinite channels. All these channels are energy that is vibrating. But the way that makes this channel different from this channel is simply the speed at which it vibrates, which is its frequency. Higher frequencies usually feel better. Lower frequencies usually feel worse. So this is the concept I'm trying to get you guys to understand here. And I know it might be a bit confusing, but I'm going to bring it full circle in a second. Because the reason I've told you all of this is because unlike the screen you're watching me on, and unlike the room you're in right now, we as human beings are conscious of our experience. We are conscious of the things happening around us. We are conscious of ourselves, which means we are conscious energy. Remember, energy is everything, so we're energy, and because we're conscious, we therefore are conscious energy. And because we are conscious energy, we can then choose the frequency or the feeling state at which we move or vibrate at. We, as conscious energy, can choose if we want to feel good or if we want to feel bad by using our inherent power to change our frequency. And what is our inherent power? It's our thoughts, words, and actions. Or in other words, what you choose to focus on. Your thoughts, just like everything else, is energy. Thinking a thought that you don't like is the exact same thing as viewing a YouTube channel that makes you feel bad. There is literally no difference. Every single thought you think is vibrating at a certain frequency, just like every single YouTube channel you watch is vibrating at a certain frequency. And guess what? If you've ever heard of a thing called the law of attraction, which I'm sure most of you have, then you know that what the law of attraction talks about is basically saying that you get what you focus on. And I could go so much deeper into this law of attraction, but just for the sake of time in this video, me, you, your phone, the room you're in, all of it has an electromagnetic charge associated with it, and it acts as a magnet. This charge can either be positive or negative, and because of this charge, it will attract more of what it is and repel more of what it is not. This is why if you've ever walked around a city, there will be some parts of the city that are very run down, and it attracts people that are in resonance with that energy. There are also some parts of the city that are very clean, and it usually attracts people who are very clean themselves. This is why some places can be haunted, and those places that are haunted usually are associated with things that negatively happened in the past. Now, the point I'm trying to get to here is that energy has specific charges, and these charges make the frequency, and the frequency attracts through the law of attraction things that are in resonance or of a similar frequency to it. Because we as human beings are conscious energy, or in other words, conscious electromagnetic magnets, we can change our charge or our frequency by using our inherent superpower, which of course is our thoughts, words, and actions, to attract what we want by changing our frequency. Now, this is a very complex topic to break down in a short YouTube video. I'm giving it my best shot, and I hope you guys are following. Now that you've heard of this, a seed has been planted in your mind, and you at least know a snippet of how this process works. That's gonna help you begin to believe that this is real, and that it actually does work. Which means now I can show you exactly how to use your power within, so you can start creating your own reality and start working towards living your dream life. But if you have any brief questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll try and answer it as soon as possible. Or if you're really serious and you want to really learn how your power within works, so you can guarantee that you actually create your dream life, sign up for one-on-one coaching with me. Also, if you want more information on this topic, I actually wrote an ebook called Your Power Within that will go even more in depth on what I'm talking about here. You can find find the links to both of these in the description or the pinned comment down below. So how do you use your power within to take control of your life and start creating your reality consciously? Well, the first part is very simple, but it's also the hardest part. Well, the first thing you need to do, and to be honest, the hardest thing you need to do, is you need to start cutting out your limiting beliefs. Remember earlier how I talked about beliefs, how they're like glasses that causes you to only think within that filter. Well, right now, you probably have dozens, if not hundreds of limiting beliefs that state, I can't do this, I have to do this, life works like this, I have to follow these rules, etc., etc. All of these limiting beliefs are limiting and they hold you back from creating your dream life. And this is why I said at the start, this process is actually very simple. It's just the fact that we have so much baggage in the way of what we actually are and who we really are. We've been taught so much BS. So what you really need to do is examine your mindset, examine the way you're living your life, and really think, is this how you want to live? Because what you want to do is come from a mindset of a child. You want to come from the mindset of like, everything is possible. It's just dependent upon your belief. Because you can just as easily think negatively or positively about something. If your belief is negative, you need to flip it to the positive version of it. In doing this, you're going to learn a lot more about yourself and what you really love, what you really enjoy doing. Deep down, you already know who you really are. It's just the fact that you have so much stuff covering it up. When you remove all that BS, it's clear as day who you are, it's clear as day what you want, and the life you want to create is clear as day. That's why when you remove all of this stuff, you start to learn what you love. And naturally, because you've learned what you love, you start to do what you love. And as you do what you love, you get put into a higher frequency. And because you're naturally on a higher frequency, guess what? You attract more of what you love. You attract more of what you want, just as effortlessly as your life is right now. If in your life it's full of hardship and struggles, that comes naturally to you, that's your set point. But when you remove those things and you learn what you love, guess what? Loving yourself, enjoying your day, and moving through the day effortlessly is effortless. It's your set point. It comes to you automatically, just how everything else in your life comes to you automatically right now. It's that easy. But along the way of unlearning your limiting beliefs and installing new beliefs that are positive and that you actually enjoy, what you want to do is learn to appreciate everything you have. Learn to appreciate your current situation. So no matter what's in your life, whether you think it's good or whether you think it's bad, learn to appreciate it. If you have something in your life that's challenging, that you often complain about, take a couple minutes to try and look at it in a positive light. Take a couple of minutes to try and understand how it's helping you. Maybe it's helping you learn things. Maybe it's a challenge that is pushing you in the right direction. Maybe you don't like your work situation, or you hate your boss, or you're not in a great relationship. Just try and practice appreciating it. Because remember guys, it's all about the frequency. If you can take a situation that you feel bad on and flip it to something you feel good about, guess what? Because you've now changed the frequency of the situation, you will now start attracting better situations that are in alignment with your new frequency of the situation. That's why learning to appreciate things is so important, because you can literally be in the worst of the worst situations. And I'm speaking from experience here. You know, I basically grew up in the hood. I grew up in a very poor area. And growing up, I was around people of a similar vibration to that area, but I didn't allow that to affect me. I started to look at the little things about it that was really good. I noticed that there was actually some areas that were really beautiful if I really looked at it. I noticed that it was a great area for me to focus and practice on appreciating things even when on the outside people may think it's negative. And because of that, as I started to appreciate the things around me instead of just complaining about them, things started to change. I started to attract situations that were more in alignment with how I was seeing them, and now I live in a really great neighborhood that matches how I was feeling before. It's all about how you feel about it. That's what you need to realize. It's not about what you think, it's how you feel. And if you think positively about a situation, your feelings will match that. And the last thing you want to do when learning to use your power within correctly is you want to learn how to drop resistance and build acceptance of situations around you. What do I mean by this? If you are resisting something, that basically just means that you want it to be different. You don't want it to be as it is. It's the opposite of acceptance. If you are accepting of the situation, regardless of however the situation is, you would just be at peace with it. The reason you want to learn this is because when you resist a situation, you are automatically in a negative frequency. And when you're in a negative frequency, because we're magnets, you are attracting more negative frequencies to you. In fact, when you resist a situation, you attract more of that situation. This is a big fallacy that we as humans believe because it's what we're taught. For instance, people who go to protests on things that they don't like, they are in heavy resistance to the situation. And because of this, they attract more events that they don't like. It's like a person who fights against racism. Because they are so focused on racism, they attract more racist things to them. And they start to see the world as racist. But if a person who just simply accepts the world as it is and doesn't focus on resisting things in the world, they no longer see it. It just simply moves past them because they're not focused on it. This is why learning to drop resistance is so important, because what you resist persists. What you don't like, you get more of. The way you get rid of something you don't like is by accepting that it is there and by appreciating it for what it does. And by doing that, you change how you feel about it. And when you change how you feel about it, it goes away because you're no longer holding on to it. Resistance is basically like holding on to it. It's like clenching your fist at something and not letting go. But acceptance is letting go. Letting it go wherever it may and appreciating it. It's really that simple. When you don't like something, just take a step back, take a breather, accept it. This is how it is, and appreciate it for what it brings to the table, and move on. That is the absolute best way to remove something from your life. You don't fight against it, you simply accept it. I know it's a backwards way of seeing it, and it goes against everything we're taught, but in my experience, this is the absolute best way to let something go. And I've used this method many, many times to let things I don't like in my life simply leave. So moving forward, if you can put into practice unlearning your limiting beliefs and replacing them with positive beliefs that you love and enjoy, and then acting on those positive beliefs and doing and filling your life up with things you love and enjoy, while at the same time appreciating the things in your life, good and bad, and dropping resistance to anything and everything you don't like and learning to accept it, man, your life is gonna change so quickly. It took me years to incorporate all of these things at once because I didn't have a video putting it all out before me just like this. So I'm really glad I'm here today and I can give this gift to you guys, so it helps you cut down a couple of years of learning this type of information. And of course, learning to consciously use your power within is a process, and it involves a lot of self-reflecting and unlearning what you've been taught throughout your life. That's why you should watch this video next, where I talk about one of the biggest lies you've been told that keeps you from your true power within, and is something you'll have to unlearn on a journey to using your superpower and becoming a conscious creator.